Welcome back to Broncos Country Tonight, joined by Broncos TV's Matt Boyer. What up, Matt?
Guys, how we doing? Week three. We're moving along all right.
It's already here. And actually, I got a reminder that the Jets are just on the other side of this thing. So it's like it's cruising along. We'll be through week 4 before we even blink. But one game at a time. That's what the players always tell us, right? One game at a time. So let's go ahead and talk about this upcoming game against the Bucs. Now, the Broncos on offense are going to have quite a bit of challenge. I mean, the Buccaneers have a good defense, but even more so, you got a different quarterback in there. You've got, without Courtland Sutton, had a little bit of experience of that in week 1, but Jeff Driskel hadn't had a ton of experience without Courtland Sutton. So from your perspective, how much does this change the way the Broncos can operate their offense, Matt?
I mean, it changes it drastically. You lose a Pro Bowler in Courtland Sutton. You lose your starting quarterback in Drew Lock. I think Jeff Driskel, though, is a capable backup. Backup quarterbacks are a lot like fire extinguishers, right? You don't want to have to use it, but they better be efficient when you do, or else you're in big, big trouble. So I think that this is going to be a huge week for Jeff, just being able to get reps, acclimate to the offense in a different way than he was able to last week, just because he kind of got thrown into the game cold. So I think that based on his skill set and what we've seen him able to do, play action fakes, he excels in those. I think throwing on the run, he's also pretty accurate. I think that Broncos fans might look at this and say, you know what, we're in trouble. But I think that Driskel, if he's able to be efficient, the Broncos are going to give themselves a chance on Sunday.
Okay, so Ben, kind of similar question to you, but a good point that he brings up there, that Jeff Driskel is going to get the lion's share of the reps this week. Does that change a lot for a guy like Jeff Driskel and his being prepared for this game?
I don't think so. I think Jeff's a consummate pro. He's been around long enough that he understands what he needs to do to get ready for the game. I don't think that I don't think that's too big a thing for me. I want to see what Pat Shurmur does to kind of tailor the offense to his skill set, what he can do to kind of maximize Jeff Driskel. One thing I'd like to see that I haven't seen so far this year, Royce Freeman on that angle route out of the backfield. Phil Lindsay's hurt right now. Royce on that angle route was highly successful last year. They really haven't used that a lot this year. That'll help take the pressure off. You can hit those quick passes and keep an aggressive defense from being able to get your quarterback. They're going to drop back into coverage, and then all of a sudden you can really start to exploit it.
Certainly like that, because it gives Jeff Driskel some options. And it seemed like at times, Matt, where he just didn't really have moments or opportunities to get the ball out quick. And I don't know if that was on him or if that was on guys just weren't finding ways to come open. I mean, he hit Melvin Gordon on that wheel for the touchdown, which is nice, but you're 100% right. Shallow crosses, angle routes, those are the kinds of things I think you can set up for Jeff Driskel to give him high probability opportunities.
Yeah, and Driskel's a guy who probably will stay in the pocket a little bit longer than Drew Lock. So, we saw the quarterback pressures, we saw the quarterback hits and the sacks. Those are types of things that you don't really want to see, but with a guy like Jeff Driskel who will stay in there a little bit longer, that's kind of what you're going to get. But like you mentioned, Ryan, I thought him being able to find the running backs, the tight ends, I thought Noah Fant had a huge second half where he was able to, really open up that Steelers defense. And keep in mind, too, the Titans and the Steelers defenses are both great defenses. So don't take anything away from – it's not like they were out there playing, a Division III school. Those are two elite defenses in the NFL. So I think they were able to showcase some things that they're going to do well going forward. But, yeah, there's still a lot to work on.
Yeah, definitely. And that does, it shouldn't be lost. These are two playoff teams, right? And these are two elite defenses. Another good defense coming in with the Bucs. Who's the next guy up? Ben, I mean, we mentioned Noah Fant there. That seems like a pretty obvious one. Showed some rapport there with Jeff Driskel. I know we would like to see KJ Hamler, Jeudy also get into the mix. And I know that you've talked a lot about Tim Patrick. Who's the next guy up?
Well, I think that's what it is. I think Noah Fant's already the guy up. Teams are game planning to take him away. Fans have been wondering why it seems like in certain halves of these first two games, Noah Fant hasn't been, air quotes, targeted. It's not that he hadn't been targeted. It's that opposing defenses recognize that he's a good player and they cover him. I think that's going to be the case. I think he's going to draw more attention, and that's going to free things up for the guys you mentioned. And I think a guy like Tim Patrick has to step into Courtland's role and say, hey, look, I can be the guy. I can be the security blanket. Throw it up and let me make a catch while those rookies and Jerry Jeudy, KJ Hamler, and Tyree Cleveland come along. I think Deshaun Hamilton and Tim Patrick really need to step it up this next couple weeks.
Ben makes a great point. I mean, Deshaun Hamilton and Tim Patrick have kind of been in this situation before. Go back to 2018 when Emmanuel Sanders went down. Sutton, Patrick, and Hamilton were all called upon to take on bigger roles. We're going to need to see that again from Hamilton in Sutton's absence. And then also the rookies, Jeudy and Hamler, are going to be kind of thrown into the fire earlier than we expected. But similar to the way that Sutton and Hamilton did it back in 2018, I think they're going to be able to adjust and be okay.
I thought KJ Hamler actually had a great debut, Matt. What did you think?
Yeah, I thought Hamler, he looked a little bit like a rookie at times. He missed a couple of blocks when he was kind of in line with the offensive line, so you don't want to see that. But when the ball was thrown his way, he made a couple of really nice catches in traffic. So all in all, I mean, it was kind of the performance you expected out of a rookie, but a lot to build on there.
But something we've talked about, Ben, is that we thought this year was going to be sort of a development year for KJ Hamler, kind of have low expectations. Maybe that's more outside than inside the building. Do you think maybe we should up those expectations now, especially in light of Courtland Sutton going down?
Well, we need to see improvements out of him. As Matt was talking about with the blocking there, the Broncos were tipping their hand in the second half. Anytime that they had Deshaun Hamilton on the field, they were going to run. They did not run with KJ Hamler after that, and they were tipping their hand with that. You go back and look at the tape. You can't do that because opponents are going to pick up on that tendency and really going to mess with you long term. So I don't know if we need to temper expectation or inflate expectation, but we do need to see improvement out of KJ in certain areas.